this one I make because truly y'all always going back to the tree that man was supposed not to touch. And y'all say they say eat from. Listen, when I was little, when that scripture, it read like this. Well, I can't tell you word for word, but it said, of the tree in the midst of the garden, of this. Well, first it went something like, you can eat from the tree of the fields, from the eat of the herbs and partake of one of them. And then when it got to the mentioning of the tree in the midst of the garden, it was said, of this ye must not touch. That's it. Didn't say nothing about must not eat. It just said, of that tree in the midst of the garden ye may not touch. Now, when it tells you the description of that tree that man was told not to touch, it says that tree was dazzling to the eye and it was good for food. So that's why man took to make you think that, oh, it was a fruit that the tree bore. The tree that was in the midst of the garden had no fruit at all. It didn't say it bore good fruit. It said it was good for food. Now, I told you that tree was fire that man wasn't supposed to touch, right? And Moses was the one that stoned. Moses was led to the tree. And how you know it was a tree of fire that God was talking about? Because when Moses went to the tree, Father told him, take your shoes off. For this land is holy land, holy ground. What made that ground holy? Because it's the very spot where man fell from the grace of God. From the grace of the Father, excuse me. The very spot because of that God had to be given up to us. That there was even a God made over us at that point so that we could live. Now, the tree, it says it was dazzling to the eye and it was good for food. It didn't say it had good food. Now, let's look at fire. It cooks everything. You can take the grains and the herbs of the field and you cook them. And food, the animals, and kind of fish, and it cooks it. It's good for food. Good for all types of food. So understand that, right? And listen to these truths I tell y'all. And stop following behind all the hypocritical mess that you have learned from your religions throughout all this time. I come doing the work of the Lord thy God. I come doing the work by the Father. Do I come? So that son of man, I be here and you throw the threats out. Your threats will never work this way. I told you, you can call on your God whom you call Allah. But you don't serve the right Allah. You don't serve the right God. In fact, you can't even call on the Father. You can call on God. That's where you can seek your help from. But where you seek your help from is where my help is already. So, though you seek his help, and you don't rightly know who he is, now me, I seek his help, me knowing who he is. What do you think will happen, son of man, if I was to send a curse your way? You would have to send your people to try to make your curse work. You have to send some of your followers, yo, go kill that man. Me, I wouldn't have to do that. All I have to do is speak a word. But I don't want to do that with you. I just want you to wake up because you do have quite a few that follow you. And so by waking you up, they wake up. And so no. Yeah, I can claim you do teach a lot of wrong things, man. Like when you said that you were God to me. You know that was wrong. If I would have asked you, is Allah God, you would have said yes. And you would have lost off of that because Allah is the Father. He is above God. He's the one who created God. So, man, listen, yo. Let me open your eyes to the way. And if you still feel that you might want to give up that 20,000, it's okay. I'll tell you what you do.